Welcome, and thanks for tuning in. In this video we will be showcasing how to use the Form Designer tool and give a brief overview of its tools and functions. Let's jump right in. On this screen, you will see the Form Designer page. To get to this page you will need to edit or create a new form. Once you have successfully navigated to this page, you will see three distinct columns. The column on the left-hand side of the screen will house a number of different controls. Each control will have a specific function. The center column houses the form itself. And on the right-hand side you will see the Properties panel. This panel may be blank when first entering the space and is designed to show additional settings once a control is dropped into the form and is selected. Now let's take a closer look at each control and its purpose. The first control is the Calculation field. The Calculation field is used when a user needs the calculated value from two separate number inputs. Number input controls are used in conjunction with the Calculation field and aliases to determine values. The checkbox control is used when a user needs to select one or more options as part of the form. The Currency input control is used when a user needs to write down a number that is a currency value. There are many currencies that can be changed using the Properties panel on the right. The Date control is used when a user needs to select a date. The drop-down control is used when a user needs to select from multiple options in the form of a drop-down. You can add values to be shown within the drop-down from the Properties panel on the right. The File upload control is used when a user needs to upload a document or file and attach it to the form. These documents can be extracted at the form's completion, and settings for this control, such as file upload limitations, can be adjusted using the Properties panel on the right. The Header text control is a common control used to give your form a heading within the section. It's common to use this control to create different subsections or in section comments. The Hyperlink control is used when a link needs to be pasted within the form that will take the user to a related page. The Image control is used when a user needs to upload an image to the form. The Import Answers control is used when answers from another form submission need to be pasted to the current form. A Label control is used when text needs to be placed within the form and will not allow the user to add any additional text or data. The List lookup tool is used when one or more values need to be selected from a list that can be created outside of the Form Designer. A list is a lot like a drop-down, but can have multiple columns and rows and can convey more information to the user. For example, a list may have an account name, account number, and amount that can be viewed and selected for the user. The Multi-Select Line input control is used when multiple text boxes are needed for the user to fill out. The Number input control is used when a user needs to type numerical values into the form. A Paragraph control is used when the user needs to write lots of text for a specific question. The People Picker control is used when a user needs to select another user, often an acting manager or another department official, as part of the form. The values that appear in the People Picker drop-down can be defined in the Properties panel on the right-hand side of the screen. The Radio input control is used when a user needs to select one option out of multiple. The Rich Text Area control is used when a text needs to be customized. You can adjust the color, font weight, styling, and so on. The Signature control is used when a user will need to sign the document digitally. The Submission link control is used when the link from another submission needs to be pasted within the form. The Text input control is used when the user will need to type out a response to a question you create. Settings for this control can be adjusted in the Properties panel. The Yes or No input control is used when the user needs to select a value to a yes or no question. The Repeater control is used when a user will need to write answers to multiple questions that can then be repeated as many times as necessary. For example, let's say we need to collect data about how many times a user has traveled for work this year. We can use a repeater control with questions inside it that ask the date of travel, distance traveled, etc. The user can fill in the data, then repeat those questions and fill in the questions again, adding additional trips. The Section control is used when controls need to be organized by a common theme or category. It's also important to note when constructing your forms, you should use sections to separate your form for different users that will be involved, which can then be delegated when building the process. For example, the first section of your form can be focused for the initial user, and the second section can be focused for the manager, and the third section focused on the branch manager, and so on. Okay, let's take a closer look and walk through the proper way to build and construct your form. When starting out, it's best practice to find the section control and drag it into the form. A section is like a container and is designed to hold many controls within it that are related by a common theme or category. Once the section control is dropped into place, you can go ahead and add controls as you wish and start building the form how you would like. Okay, let's select the text input control to reveal the properties panel settings. At the top you will see a display option. Use this space to change the text that will appear within the control. You can choose to include help text and tooltips, which will appear just near the main text. The other options are more focused on behavior, visibility, and security. Let's take a look at the data drop-down. The data drop-down is important when additional information or values need to be included to make the control function properly. For example, if this was a drop-down control, you could add the various options that would appear within the drop-down from this space. The validation drop-down is used when a control needs to be completed before the form can commence. When the required checkbox is selected, the control will show a red asterisk and will need to be completed by the end user. The visibility condition refers to the visible state of the control. You can define under what circumstances the control will be visible, and is useful when certain questions should be hidden until a certain criteria of questions are met. The Custom Attributes drop-down allows users to define attributes much like the visibility condition. These attributes are defined by a key and value text box. We hope you found this video informative. Thanks for watching.